In this video, I will give you a basic introduction to ArcMap, and this video will be followed by a series of tutorials on basic functions of ArcMap. When you first open the ArcMap software, you will get a window like this, and it will display the recent projects you have been working on. If you want to start a new project, go into New Maps and select on Blank Map and click on OK. So this is how ArcMap will look like when you start a new project. You can see that there are several toolbars, particularly two toolbars, and if you cannot see these toolbars, you can go into Customize, Toolbars, and select on Standard Toolbar and Tools Toolbar. So this is the Standard Toolbar, this is the Tools Toolbar, and you can see that when you hover your cursor on each of these tools, it will give you a description of that particular tool. Other than the toolbars, there are several windows. For example, the table of content, the catalog, search, and the toolbox. I will show you how to get these windows. So I will close all the windows. To get these windows, you have to go into Windows and select the particular window you want. To open the Tools window, you have to click on this Toolbox button in Standard Toolbar. In general, these are all the windows you need when working with ArcMap. And you should realize that these windows can be placed in any place you want. For example, you can let them float in your display, or you can dock them depending on these arrows in your ArcMap. Also, using this button, you can pin them or hide them in your display. Now I will go into the catalog window. This catalog window will show you a list of folders and geodatabases. You can see that there is a home folder. So this home folder contains all the data files of your current project. I will go into some other data files. So this is a geodatabase, and inside that geodatabase there are GIS files. So these are the feature classes in my project. So I will import them into ArcMap. Here I have imported all the data layers I want, and you can see that we cannot see the full extent of the data layers. To see the full extent, you can click on this button on the toolbar, and it will show you the full extent of all the data layers which you have imported. The table of content is a list of all the layers in the map. If you are interested in a particular layer, you can select that layer, right click, and click on zoom to layer, and the display will be zoomed to that extent. The table of content also can be used to change the order of display. For example, this layer is on top of island. So if we drag the island layer on top of that layer, we can see the island. Using the symbology function, we can change the colors. You can also go into the properties of the data layer, select the layer, right click, and go into properties. Here in the general tab, you can change the name of the layer if you want. And in the symbology, you can change the symbology features. So this is just a representation of the original file. the original file will stay in the folder or in the geodatabase. If you want to change the name of the original file, you have to change the name within the geodatabase or within the folder. ArcMap also provides different tools to perform different functions. Some of the basic geoprocessing tools can be accessed from the Geoprocessing tab, and the other tools you should access from the toolbox. These tools have been categorized into different groups. If you are accessing the tools using the toolbox, you have to know the location or the group in which that particular tool is located. You can easily find a tool using the search window. Here you have to type the name of your tool. For example, I will type as buffer, and I can find the buffer tool using the search function. So this is how a tool will look like when you open a tool. And if you are not familiar with the tool, you can use the show help button and get a brief understanding of the tool. And if you click on any of these boxes, it will give you a description of what data should be included to use the tool. If you need further information about the tool, you can click on this tool help, and it will open up a new window with all the details related to that tool. If you click on the green color text, it will direct you to the location of that tool in the toolbox. For some analysis purposes, you need special toolbars other than the standard toolbar and the tools toolbar. To access the other toolbars, you can go into Customize, Toolbars, and select any of these toolbars. Also, you can right click somewhere here and access those toolbars. For example, I will select the image classification toolbar, and that toolbar will appear, and you can dock that toolbar in any place you want. I will import a raster layer to activate the toolbar. I'll bring it to the top. So this is a raster layer, and this toolbar should be activated by now, but you can see that these icons are not active. That is because we haven't enabled the extension which is necessary to use these tools. To enable the extensions, you have to go into Customize and go into Extensions. Here there are several extensions depending on the license you are using, and if I select the Spatial Analyst and click on Close, it will enable or it will activate the extension, and now you can see these tools are activated. So when using different tools, you may need to activate different extensions, and in general you can activate all these extensions so that you have access to all the tools. In ArcMap there are two types of views. If you go into bottom corner, you can see two small icons, and at the moment we are in data view. You can do all your analysis in data view. When you want to prepare the layout of the map, you can go into layout view. You can go into File and Page Setup and change the page size or the orientation. Other than that, you can also insert different map features. After creating the layout, you can go into File and export the map as a image file. You can also save your project by going into the file and save as, and save your project as a ArcMap document as a MXD file. You have to remember that the project file stores only the pathways to a data files. So the data files will be in their original locations, in their folders, or in the particular geodatabase. And in case if you want to delete the project, by deleting the project file, you are just deleting the project file. And if you want to delete the data files, you have to delete from the original locations. So this is a very brief introduction to ArcMap, and if you are interested, you can watch the rest of the videos to learn the basics of using ArcMap.